Hello and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Today we are doing a material scavenge. So we need materials for some of the engineers. I need some of the more rarer ones really, but there's a new barnacle site being found. They're calling it a forest, so we're going to wander over to that because hopefully if it's as many barnacles as I'm hoping it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of materials in a close proximity rather than having to drive for 5-10 minutes between each outcrop and stuff. I mind you, some of the outcrops you can get like 2 at a time, but hopefully this is going to be a lot of materials all confined in a small or a reasonably small area. I've had to cancel the glide a little bit earlier because it was heading off in the wrong direction, so once we pulled it out and spun her around we can see the light area on the map. Right, so if we look on the system map, it's the second moon from the sun. The only problem is it's the second sun, so it's 132,000 light seconds away, so it's a fair old jaunt. However, since this part of the video was recorded earlier, the mic didn't work, so I'm having to come back and narrate over the top. There was no waypoint or something to lock onto when you got nearer the planet. That has since been added, so you don't have to find it anymore. Like I spent quite a lot of time mucking around with the numbers, trying to match up the right coordinates. But you don't need to do that anymore. They've added a waypoint to the Barnacle Forest, so that's a lot easier. All you got to do is get over to the planet, and yeah, I think it's about 1,000 light seconds or something away, and then you see it. And then just go straight in there, so that's a hell of a lot easier. I'm really liking that new feature they do, and after they don't do it, so it's usually generally within a week after if someone finds something, they tend to put a waypoint or a tourist beacon nearby, so at least you know roughly where you're going. Okay, we're almost there. A few more boosts. Yeah, apparently, if we look, what's odd about this, and this I suppose gives us something to think about what these barnacles actually are. Are they some sort of construction? Because they look like... You back off. It does sort of take the shape of one of the bases. Sort of. I don't know, you can sort of... yeah. So does that grow into something else? Is that what the scavengers are for? So in which case, the bases that we found, are they not necessarily abandoned? They're just not finished? Because the scavengers are there and they're here as well, as far as I'm aware. I haven't actually seen any yet though, so maybe they're not. But from what I've read in the forums, let's get down and land, and then we'll see. Maybe we can't see them. I would have thought we were sort of flying around, because they normally... Let's park her up anyway. It seems to be the middle, so if we point towards that... Oh, am I moving forward? What am I doing that for? That's better. Yeah, so the sites that we found, are they just not finished? Because, to be fair, a couple of the sites don't necessarily work, so they might be in an earlier state. There's a scavenger there, so they are here. Or, because, oh yeah, because the one that we tried to do and failed the mission, and I really need to do that, but they wouldn't leave it still working, would they? Leave it for someone to figure out a puzzle unless it was being built, and that's all programmed in by the scavengers, and that's what they're there to do, oversee the building or the construction with the use of the barnacles. So maybe you have to keep an eye on those bases. They might become more active rather than, maybe they're not abandoned after all, they're just not actually been manned yet. Or they've you can't call them manned because they're like an insect species, aren't they, Thargoids? Is that right? I'm not really up on too much on the canon on that, but yeah. So anyway, we're going to go and have a look, see if we can find what materials are on offer, because we need some for the engineers. I've got a tool in the background running, telling me, a very handy tool. I'll put a link for it in there. So what this does is it calculates, or it lets you know once you've reached, so you set up your shopping list, which is what I've got here. This is my shopping list, if I can find the edge of it. There it is. And these are items that I've been, in fact I've already got it to do that one, so I can, no, get rid of that, get rid of that. Short range blaster grade 3, I think I do, no. And lightweight mount grade 3, yeah, because that's a good one for levelling once I've used, because obviously you have to use your bolts to get these special effects on it, which puts you down, so then you have to go back down to level 3, so you obviously need the materials for level 3 to get yourself back up to level 5. So I set them up for that as well. Did I just, yeah, there it is there. So I've set it up, I've got one, so once it gets one, it will tell me that there's one available, and how it will do that is with the notifications. So if we get figure notifications, press test.
Favorite blueprint ready. Shield booster heavy duty G2.
It will tell me. And then what I need to do, let's bring it back up on the screen, is I'll set it to 10. So I'm going to have a fair few goes, so that when I'm there, once you get 10 goes, or and I've got a hell of a shopping list here, to be fair. Let's expand this up. I've got a few things I want to put on different ships. So that's my shopping list. And if I hold on each one, it will tell me what it is that particular thing is. And you can cancel them, obviously, and you can add or subtract from them if you so wish. But as you hold, it highlights on the left side, so ceramics, salvage alloys, it highlights the ones that it actually needs for that, and then on the right you can see how many you've got. So of the ceramics, I've actually got, I need 50 to do the entire shopping list, but I only probably need a couple for this particular weapon. But I've got 0, I haven't got any at the moment. This one here, it's ticked, I've got more than I need for the entire shopping list. I've got 10. And what's that for? That's for our armoured lightweight, yeah. And so on. So this is a rather handy little tool, and also it covers both. If you've got more than one account, it covers both accounts, and you can set up a shopping list for this one as well, which I'm pretty sure I have. It just doesn't seem to be showing. I think he's got his shopping list is a totally different, because he's obviously out. He hasn't got access to the shops. He can't scan ships for that kind of data, and he can't get stuff from the engineers. He's too far out. But the stuff that he can use is for the refill for your repair, FSD injection if he gets any of those, SRV repair, SRV ammo, refuel, yeah, that'll do for that. Set the grade, because none of those are going to be great, so just put it on for all. No. You get it up now. There you go. Bloody shopping list was in the way, and there's nothing on it. I thought there was. Anyway, so we can do those, and then it will tell us when we've got enough available, and you can favourite them as well. Oh, in fact, I don't even know why that one's there, but here you go. Let's get rid of that. But it's weird. Tell you when it's using for those, and then you can add those to the shopping list as well. So we want 7 of those. What is that? Hull strength, SRV, yeah, 50% hull strength. Once we've got enough of 8 goes, it'll let us know, so we know we can repair our SRV, and so on. Rather handy little bit of kit, that. Anyway, I'll put a link for that up in the descriptions. So now, need to get into the SRV and right, let's see what we can find. Don't know what materials I necessarily need, but I should, if I find anything nice. Organic structure, that's what we have to shoot, isn't it? I wonder if these scavengers are going to get a bit annoyed if they're building this. What have we got? Iron. I want some rare ones if possible. It's been a while since I've been to Barnacle's site, so I can't exactly remember. I'm sure you get rare ones here, I'm sure you do. It's a bit annoying if it's just the basic stuff you're going to end up getting. So iron and carbon. Nothing too exotic so far. Right. We're pointing at them. So we're on the edge of it at the moment because we pointed the ship towards the centre. So let's head over that way. There's another organic structure there. Oh. What does it drop? I don't know if that's a rare one actually. Or even whether I've got much of it, but I'll take it anyway. I'm not actually 100% sure of how much data space I've got left. It's material space actually, isn't it? Not a lot, so I might have to do a bit of sorting as well. I think iron is probably something I've got a lot of, so I can probably not pick that up. Maybe I suppose I have to pick it up just to get it off the scanner. I can always ditch it later. I mean, I'll target it. Ah, magnesium. Okay. So I think this could take a while, and what's that one? Oh, carbon again. There's a lot of material here without having to go looking for the outcrops, and so I suppose in that respect. Oh crap. Did I just shoot through one and got the other one? Or did I even get the one I was after? No, I didn't. So you can shoot them. Oh, okay, so let's go into... Oh, you can as well, but nothing comes off them. Just fragments. And they don't have a targeting. I wonder if you can destroy that if you're patient. What did we get? Nickel. Okay, so maybe it's just going to be good for materials. We don't seem to be picking up anything special necessarily. We could possibly get materials from... I have got materials from scavengers before, which has been, but I don't know if it's materials we need just yet, so you might not want to clog up your inventory with it at just this point. Now what I found is if you target one too close to another one, they both attack you. Got to try and find one what's separated off slightly. And you can take them both down, but let's see if we can just... this one up on his own. Oh crap, I've got some in the guns. Did he drop anything? He did. Oh shit. There it is. Energy cells. Apparently I've already got one of those. What's this one here? More energy cells. So I'd quite whether we want to clog up just yet, because we don't get a lot of data space. Well, it soon you soon fill it up. You have to start managing it. I try to keep it to around 20 of each. But some of the bits of kit, so like for the new, if you want to say if you're going to synthesis some limpets, for instance. I can't remember what materials they use, but it's 10 of each. And you can only do basic as well, you can't, let's have a look at that on there. So we're going to synthesis, go across, limpets. Yeah, 10 of each, iron and nickel. So you need a fair few of those. I can do 3 of them apparently, which is obviously handy. And the SRV. I don't know how much fuel I've got in this thing at the moment. There's plenty in there, there's loads. Don't need to worry about that. Right, let's get back to the materials. So it's not an interesting site. New things, so things are progressing, and I hope they carry on at a similar pace. Apparently there's lots of hidden things, and obviously, yeah, as usual, the community seems to be finding bits and pieces all over the place. I don't know whether this was hinted at or whether someone just stumbled across it. That I'm not 100% sure of, but what a great site. And there is materials here, it's just whether it's materials you actually need. Unfortunately for me, it doesn't appear to have found anything of great use, but well, everything's useful, but not necessarily what I'm after at the present time. Still anything to know, when we do start needing this Thargoid technology as materials, we can come to places like this and scavenge on the scavengers, which is also very nice. And the mist, I love the mist of this place. You can just see it in the background. It's just great.